Mirage, what?
Welcome back, guys. It's time for our final game for the ESL ESEA Pro League Finals. It's getting a little bit tense for a lot of these teams. Luminosity are now going to be battling for survival with CLG. The two, of course, losing their first game yesterday up against their European opponents. And now one of them is going home after this best of 3. I'm joined by Moses, Semler, and Sean. Boys, last game of the night, it's going to be a good one as well. It's one of those ones where in my books, you know, it's tough to call. Then again, we said the same thing about Luminosity versus Na'Vi. So I feel like, if anything, we're giving CLG a lot of respect with that by saying this is not, you know, as clear-cut as a 2-0. Sean?
Yeah, it's definitely not a clear-cut 2-0. CLG has always had Luminosity's number historically. This is a very different Luminosity team, though, as I keep saying. They can contend with Europeans. They have so much skill on their team, in addition to the tactical level that Fallen brings, and their coach now, Zeus. He apparently has been calling a lot. I've been watching him throughout the event. It's insane, the amount of information he brings to the team.
I've actually never seen a coach really get more credit, and it's been so quickly as well.
Yeah.
Like when all that hype around Luminosity at DreamHack occurred, like everyone was like, "Don't forget the coach." Like, why is no one mentioning the coach?
Because, well, basically what happened is we got to talk. I got to meet Zeus, and he speaks very good English, and so we were able to kind of like go over like how it's been shaping up the team and whatnot. And he was basically telling me about how on the flight over, they had forgot to log into Steam or something, so they couldn't actually get into the game to start getting strats going, so they were using MS Paint and just like drawing sites together. Basically, like, and it wasn't even like a nice site or anything. It was like, this box here, that is plant, this is try box or whatever. You're gonna go this way, and like, little line, so it's like,
it's just the whiteboard equivalent, right?
But from the way it sounds, it's like it's him and Zeus that bounce ideas off of each other, and then everybody kind of funnels input into it. But between the two of them, they're the ones who are really coming up with the plays that this team is using. So it is really cool to actually see. Much like Starix, for example, he's another coach who's very involved, and it goes so far as he's calling a lot of the time. It sounds like we have a similar situation here with Luminosity.
Well, the addition of a new brain always kind of guides a team to like innovation in their game, and I think that's already like we've seen evidence of that already with Luminosity. That they've already kind of not only have they added 2 new players, not only have they added a coach, but also they've added a lot to their playbook very quickly. It feels.
Yeah, and I think that's what CLG is going for, too. They just added PETA to their team, and I think they want a new mind, especially a European mind, to come in and refresh things. They're happy with the roster, want to stick with their players, and they just think they need some strategic changes.
To me, the difference between the two is that PETA sounds much more like a checkbook, if that makes any sense, or a checklist, if that makes any sense.
They're very different from hearing PETA talk with the team.
Because you were sitting, you were also able to hear them when they were calling, but I don't think that PETA has so much to do with like building the strats, because you don't really hear him calling for it. Instead, he's calling these sorts of situations where he's like, okay, this is their economic status, be prepared for this. And he's trying to. It sounds like a brief almost. He gets more of a read on the situation.
Or if they fall into a rut where they keep doing the same thing, and he'll ask JDM, do you want to take the fight to Kerrigan mid with the op?
Right, exactly.
But he won't really call a strat. He'll just say, do you want to take the fight to him with an op? And JDM will say yes, and then I think the players will decide what to do around that thought.
Because I'm still hearing Finesse or FNS calling quite a bit, it seems like.
Which is like good to mention too, because FNS and Cutler have been like bouncing back and forth on in-game leader recently. Like Cutler took it over very much earlier in the summer. Like it was just he was the dedicated in-game leader, and then just recently they've gone to FNS and they got back to Cutler. Now it's firmly back in FNS right now. So it's like they've had this jumble over the past like three months or so where they've gone back and forth on in-game leading.
And PETA's even more interesting because he's a European, he's a Swede, who is now, used to coach NIP. Now he's come over. He's one of those, not the first, obviously, because Devilwalk and Python, these guys kind of ran that experiment as well, trying to merge a team together in Winter Fox and before that, Luminosity. But, to actually have a coach now where CLG were willing to reach across the pond and find somebody to come over and help them, somebody who might have the experience to try and bridge the gap in this meta that Sean is mentioning with a lot of the North American teams where they feel like they're lagging behind. PETA sounds like the perfect candidate to come in here and be just like, okay, this is everything that I see at least, and now we need to fix it.
And one of the points we often make about CLG is this point where, not too shabby individuals, when everything's, like all the stars are lined up, everything's working well for CLG. However, they do have this tendency to kind of lose that focus, lose a lot of this kind of this consistency that's like necessary to succeed in a best of 3, not only just throughout tournaments. And so like, having that kind of cool head, that external presence could actually make a big difference for boys like CLG. I mean, I've seen time and time before. I'm going to come back to those comms when we had the videos, from previous events. You'd actually hear like if you listen to the first 10 rounds of CLG when things are going well, and then the last 5 rounds when things have suddenly gone horribly wrong. It's just day and night. And maybe Peter's going to be that little change.
You gotta hope Peter just doesn't like tear his hair out, because like we have we have Fifth Slayer, who's always mentioned the comms of North Americans just drive him insane when he listens to it. So you gotta imagine Peter, if he's in a similar boat, like he's just like, oh my god, what am I doing here? Like
what have I done?
But this is where I wonder, just how much Peter can get into it, because when CLG were struggling yesterday, we weren't hearing too much from Peter either. He was standing behind, and he was calling less than in situations where it was going well. So I'm wondering how comfortable he feels yet with the team. Where does he feel like he can actually be that guy to step in and say, bring it together, guys. This is what's happening. And
and if I were him, I would use this tournament as something to observe the team. Just see their tendencies, see what they like doing, see what they do without my influence, and then build upon that in 2016.
So to kind of get a base measure of what he's working with.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Interesting stuff. We need to talk about their opponents, of course, the Brazilians, Luminosity. We kind of keep harping on about these new additions. We may as well show you them. Of course, FNX and Taco were the newest ones. Fer, Fallen, and coldzera rounding out that roster. And it does feel like a very scary roster. Like, just as I read through those names now, you really have got a stacked group. Fer used to be the individual we'd harp on about. We'd always be talking about Fer and how influential he can be in games. And all of a sudden, it feels like that limelight's been taken away from him, because you've got these new names, coldzera, FNX, even Taco, all of them there. And Fallen, of course, I mean, it needs to kind of be recognized as well.
Well, Fer was like that player who was like on the verge of like superstardom for a while there. Like he was that player that everyone was just like, a couple more tournaments like this, and you got to put him in like the top 10 players in the world. Like he's just a monster. And then Cold joins the roster, and he's been just insane. Yeah. So Fer's kind of like not only getting overshadowed, but it actually kind of worries me, because we haven't seen Fer have a really big game. And when you have someone who's on like the verge of being a superstar, when you have someone who's getting all this attention, and he starts slowly fading kind of into the background almost, where he's no longer mentioned as that primary superstar on the team. So I think, against North Americans, he's been involved in these matchups for a long time. I think this is where he's got to get back to his comfort zone.
Yeah, Fer is ludicrous with rifles and pistols. He's far and away the best player on the team when it comes to that category right there. coldzera is almost like the Olafmeister for Brazil. He can op, he can rifle, he can pistol, he can do it all. He's a great player. And then Fallen is just such a solid opper. Just the tactician of the team, brings the smarts to the team. I mean, and Taco, obviously, I didn't know much about Taco before he joined the team, even when he played on
Games Academy.
Games Academy, that was the team name. Yeah, he was a standout player there, but he stood out way more on this team than he did on that team, which is crazy to me with all the skill.
Yeah. But that's kind of like the story of this team right now, is that Fer was on the brink, then Cold comes in, kind of takes Fer's spot, takes his thunder, and then while Steel and Bolts were on the team, it didn't feel like Fer was able to find his comfort zone. Yeah. That's where you really saw that drop off, or like he's up, and then boom, and you're wondering what the hell happened, right? Yeah. Since FNX and Taco joined up, it feels like now things have become a lot more structured. Everybody has their role, and it all seems to fit a whole lot better. Yeah. And that's when we've actually seen Fer start to come back up. A lot of the focus has been on Cold, because not only is he just consistently delivering, kills in the rounds, he's also got those flashy, highlight reel rounds where it's just like, how did he do that, right? Yeah. I'm sure you remember. Yeah. So, I mean...
I remember. Like 20 kills in like 3 rounds. Yeah. It's not even possible.
He still did it.
Still did it. Getting kills.
Now...
Killing Stunner.
Yeah, straight to the heart, man. Now that it seems like the roles are a bit more defined and everybody's feeling more comfortable, we've seen like the return of Fer, because not only was Cold at DreamHack Winter doing like really sick work, but then you had Fer just like consistently getting a frag around, if not 2. He was right behind Cold, right up there with the stats. And then FNX there to clutch. I think he didn't lose a single clutch for Luminosity at DreamHack Winter. And then Taco entering. Taco for me is actually the one weak link on this team right now. It seems like he's still trying to figure out how to play on the big stage. Yeah, because, well, I mean, yesterday's matches, for example, statistically, if we just want to look at the hard headshots or whatever, he really wasn't present. So, to me, it's still like a little bit of a hot and cold sort of situation with Taco. Where,
like a hot tortilla and a kind of spicy salsa or something.
Yeah, but then some guacamole to cool it down, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
That's the missing ingredient all across the world, other than Southern California. Like, we do it right.
We do need to talk
do
about
miss it.
maps. I have totally. I was sitting there like, you know what? I feel like we're missing something in this segment. What have we not done? Oh yeah, we've talked about Mexican food.
Guacamole, the big one. We got it out of the way. We can move on.
Let's do maps. Let's do maps. Okay, so this one's an interesting one. We have Inferno and Dust 2 taken away from either side. Mirage.
Right.
What was the first thing you said when we were talking, bringing in the hype? We were saying, yeah, we're going to see Mirage. If we don't, we'd have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
First pick from CLG. Overpassed the response from Luminosity and Cash to kind of end that one. And start with you, August, in this one.
No, it's just like how long has it been since CLG have wanted to play Inferno? It feels like that's been their insta-ban for ages now.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
They
they
just no
never
changes
wanna
there.
Play the damn map. And sorry, well, can we bring it back up again real quick
Yeah,
so we can
break it down.
I've just focused on that first map for some reason. Okay, Mirage overpass.
Cash.
I mean, Mirage is no surprise. I think all of us basically called Mirage
Yeah.
right off the bat for CLG. If it was in there, they would go for it.
This is such a good best of 3.
So, I mean, so you're basically saying it's going to be a best of 3. We're going to see Overpass go the way of like Luminosity. You said they're one of the strongest in the
yeah,
American
I think
region.
all 3 maps are coin flips, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
they're-
All right.
Yeah, and Luminosity at one point with their older roster where I thought the best team in North America on Overpass.
Yeah.
And things have actually kind of faded away in that regard. They haven't
No,
seemed that
not at
strong
all.
on it, but like CLG's no like world beater on it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like these outside of Mirage. I don't think either team is especially dominant on those remaining 2 maps, but
Yeah.
it's like that coin flip. Like we're just gonna see it.
So, I mean, does this mean the predictions, should we get a genuine coin out for our predictions? I mean, like, is there going to be some
No.
method to our madness for
I'm
Mirage?
going to weight this coin with just like, a speck of lead on the Luminosity side.
Oh, okay. So you're
Because
calling it to Luminosity on
I think
Mirage?
that right now, mentally, they're in a better state than CLG are.
Okay.
If you weight the Luminosity side, isn't the CLG side?
Shut up.
Oh, physics with the math, physics.
No, it's like
cooking.
it's like a cat, and then you butter the toast.
I've seen that one.
Have you seen that GIF? Right. Okay.
No,
never
I
mind.
have not.
I've seen it.
I've seen it. What is that?
You're the only guy that hasn't seen
Thousands
on the toast.
Because come on, the butter's always gonna hit the bottom, but the
Yeah,
cat
yeah,
is
no,
always
yeah, I
you
got
get the
it.
point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Infinite power. That's the whole idea, right?
Unreal.
Come on,
Yeah.
Jason, give us a call for
DBZ.
Mirage.
I'm gonna go Luminosity on this one as well.
Okay, finally, Sean.
Luminosity.
You wanted to.
Wow,
I wanted to
okay.
go so
You
bad.
wanted
I
to.
wanted
So
to
all
go so
3
bad.
going for Luminosity on this one.
Someday, son. Someday it'll happen.
So you're
Someday.
Luminosity as well. We've got 3. You said Luminosity, right? You were waiting a coin.
Wait.
I mean, technically, your coin was totally wrong.
Should I stick with that then? Should
Yeah,
I just say
no,
CLG?
we'll go
because,
for it.
I'm gonna mess
So
up
it
my
looks
analogy.
I don't know, someone should you? You gonna do it?
I was just gonna throw myself off the stage right now.
Just do it.
You're keeping the graphics guy
I'm
like
going,
it's like,
yeah, all right, I'm
"Oh."
going Luminosity.
Luminosity. Okay, right. So, kind of a lot of belief in the Brazilians on a map that they kind of became renowned for. I mean, of course, it was a little bit of a different roster, but a lot of expectation to see Mirage go the way of Luminosity. It's time for your casters, though. For our final game of the night, we're going to be seeing who is going to get one step closer to meet TQM to get into that semi-final. Lauren, and for Flaren, what's going on?
Well, I guess, this again. It was
Hey,
bad
blame
of
Sean.
actually Sean here. Now I've got you, essentially like the Swedish version for now. But we've had Guacamole Cat's physics on the couch. I don't know how we can top that, but we can at least start talking about the matchup here between CLG and Luminosity. Now, all of them pretty much said Luminosity's game. Are you of a similar mindset?
I think that Luminosity is a better team. For CLG, I mean, they had a really good showing on Mirage yesterday versus XTSM. I don't really want to call it a fluke, but
I am.
yeah, somewhat. I mean, they really, I think that their CT side really just came to show how well Peter can actually run the team if he gets the full reign on it. I think that he was most of the time just calling the CT side for him. But looking on their T side, that was a great CT side. T side, they were nowhere. They had nothing, right? For Luminosity, I mean, I don't think it matters if CLG starts off strong. Sure, they do get to start on their CT side here now, but what's going to happen once they switch over? That's my one worry about this team.
Well, it's the worry, right?
Yep.
It's the big part here. Both teams are good on this, and even though statistically this is probably one of the better maps for CLG, at the end of the day, Luminosity still have a better win percentage on it. It is a good map overall. You can see why the couch were kind of split on where they're putting their money, but I am actually very interested to see if we are going to see Peter still calling at this point.
What kind of... Taco's just smacking himself. Is that how you wake up?
That's a new form of prep.
That's
you know.
That's kinky. Normally I have someone else to spank me. He's just spanking himself.
Do you remember when I asked how he could top like Guac? You just come out straight away and just raise the bar that little bit higher or lower.
Hey,
I
we
don't
all
know.
love a good spanking.
I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just not saying it on air, but still, coming back to point, we'll come back to that later. We'll have to raise it to like a 18 and above stream. Thankfully the guys at Twitch can hopefully help us out.
It's quite late right now in Europe, so it's only the dirty people. That's
the late
right
night
now.
show for Flaren, it gets real kinky at this time. But back into the game, we will be having CLG on the CT side, Luminosity on the T side. What do we make of this so far?
I mean, look at this. CLG just pushing up mid. I really like this approach now. Why not? Like most of the people just retake A anyway, so this is good.
Okay, this is a little bit of a newer approach, a little bit more reserved from CLG, something that we certainly noted when we were watching before in their games, and well, Cutler's already going to do some wonderful work. First gone and fallen, and Hayes, very calm, very collected, playing it out from CT, and sure the bomb's gone down, but this looks like they're very much on for the retake here. If Luminosity keep getting picked apart like this, and Cutler's having the time of his life, just peering in through connector and just getting the job down. It's down to FNX and Fallen now.
Yeah, Finesse just flanking here as well.
Just beautifully done.
Yeah, that's the issue. That's why every single team out there tends to just retake A, because it's so hard for the terrorists to hold, especially if you don't have nothing else, right? I mean, normally what you do if you're T, if you end up going on an A strat, is that you try and flash out CT spawns, so you have some like more control. But there you had like CLG was very fast on a rotate, had 2 guys in CT spawn, nothing really Luminosity could do. Yeah, they got the plant. We'll see, pretty much a full eco, just a few nades, and what looks to be just a flash towards B and rush out, hope to get the bomb.
Well, hopes are plenty. A really composed round from CLG. That's one thing that used to be highlighted by Moses. These guys were so hard to kind of lock down, play calm, and that was just really nice. Maybe the effect of Peter already kind of coming through a little bit there, but as said, it was never their CT side that we had issues with. But let's see how they deal with this now, because Luminosity are going to start coming out, and Tarek's just going to be adding bodies to his kill count right now, as it's all coming a little bit too easy for him, as sadly for coldzera, he's just locked in there in between a rock and a hard place, and Tarek is going to close it down with 3. And another comfortable, very clean round. This is looking good for CLG, building up a nice early bank and not being fussed by this, but obviously that first bomb plant coming in round 1 has opened up a possibility here for Luminosity.
Yeah, and look at the approach of CLG there as well. That's something that most Americans don't do, is that they play very defensive on the ecos as well. I mean, they had very defensive positions on the B bombs. Like also Tarek was all the way over on the couch area, getting the first hit. Normally you see someone that's very aggressive, he gets flashed, he ends up dying, and then you get the bomb down. Here you just played very safe, and it paid off. I mean, didn't lose a single member.
Well, the only issue being, issue or not, I guess, they've still got the SMGs from the previous round, so they're going to be bringing that into this one. Still a scout with JDM as well. And of course, the rifles on LG are going to be a little bit more of a problem with that amount of head armor as well. Only Fallen not being able to go for that one, or not opting to go for it. But Cutler, I don't think he's aware of how much trouble he could be in here. Nice little pop flash is going to open up for Luminosity. Coming straight in through that connector, going to deny and remove him away. coldzera finds JDM in CT, and this is a nice round from Luminosity. Taking over that A site piece by piece, controlling mid as well. And really, CLG are just locked out here.
Yeah, it was a gamble from CLG, just saving their SMGs. And it's a good call most of the time, because if you just end up upgrading, what's going to happen is, let's say you lose that round, you're going to be forced on a save. Here, you still have a chance to actually win the round. I mean, especially now Tarek got 2 kills there. But yeah, you still have a chance to win the round with the SMGs. And if you end up losing it, you still have another buy round in your hands.
So here we go, as you said, they've got the option now to buy back into this. Maybe not the best utility in the world, maybe not everything they want, but certainly a buy nonetheless. So let's see how they can try and challenge down LG at the moment. Certainly kind of trying their hand towards mid a little more, being a little bit more, I guess, all-encompassing. And sadly for the likes of Cutler and JDM, who'd been pretty integral before, they just kind of got swept aside pretty easy. But FNX trying to catch on maybe on that A-class, but no one's going to be peering through from that round just yet. But JDM, forced away from it, window, but FNX really openly challenging out mid of the right. 2 on short, and look at this. coldzera could have a real chance to crack this one open for Luminosity, as he does. Tarek gets caught with his pants down. And now 4 players for CLG going to try and keep the pieces together. Hayes playing on the side of that smoke, going to get the connection towards 1, but finally picking up Fallen, but it is a 3v4 still. JDM finding cold. But it's all going Luminosity's way thus far. They're still keeping ahead in these trades, and FNX going to break ahead of the pack, leaving just Cutler and CT. He does get 1, actually, and this is still very much possible. They are pretty low. He's got a smoke to hand. He can maybe try and bring us back to a 1v1 at some point. Not really checking towards ramp. He knows where 1 is. He knows where this last player is. He's got a smoke. This could be big for Cutler.
Just trying to fake defuse that. Yeah, click on it now.
Let's see. Fur's going in. Oh my god, Fur didn't know exactly where he was. That could have been so much worse. But Cutler's running out of time. He has no kit here. And Fur is going to start realizing this. He doesn't need to make these challenges. He can play this one cool, calm, and collected. And that bomb is going to go off no matter what. Cutler's going to get out of there. Just about keep hold of this. And you can already hear the Brazilians starting to get fired up here. And that is when they get dangerous. These guys do like that momentum. They do like that fire behind them. And that's a very nice beginning for a little bit of a turn here.
Yeah, I mean, you saw CLG's positioning there. They had 4 guys in mid, just making sure that they were trying to just not let Luminosity get map control. Again, you kind of saw the similar thing on the pistol round where they just try to retake a bomb site. This round, Luminosity did really good, whereas they didn't really plant the bomb in the beginning. They just waited for CLGs to come to them, and then you just hit the headshots.
I've got a question what Tarek was doing, just hopping up. Of course, it was the jump in towards window, but you know, they didn't have full control. They are just down to the pistols, apart from Cutler, who did keep, you know, one weapon to hand. So it's not the end of the world for him, but still, Taco getting tagged up pretty heavily there. Going to have to back away from A-Ramp. And FNS trying to find anyone in mid, but so far, coldzera just going to be taking them down one by one. Fur's gone and found one as well, and it's Luminosity being quite meticulous, quite calm, and just picking up the kills as they go.
Yeah, just making sure you have mid control and just wait for CLG to push them, right? That's exactly what happened. You saw JDM just push down A ramp after headshotting Taco as well, but Taco was smart enough to just hold a T-spawn and wait for him to come, and that was the only really damage that CLG actually put through that round.
Yep, CLG gonna have to try and start getting this one back to hand. You don't want to allow Luminosity to get comfortable. Already you can see 8k on Fur being built up. This guy's gonna be pretty set in the next couple of rounds. Wonder if there's maybe an AWP going to be placed out towards Fallen soon enough, or see how they face this one, because JDM's certainly not gonna have that chance just yet, as once again Cole gonna go straight down towards mid. He's been getting out there every single time, but no one this time going to make anything out of it, as Hayes holding close. Knows no one's here, but Tarek going to just switch up the pace, go straight towards mid. Fallen seems a little wiser because he was waiting on Fur to come through underpass. Picks up a beautiful follow-up too. That's FNS denied. And now 3v2. Luminosity are a little bit down and out of luck, but they do have the bomb. They've got a good shot towards B here. Obviously, they don't know that yet, but soon enough, FNX might find out.
I mean, great gamble from CLG, just making sure you actually get the revenge frags as well. Leaving B open, but now you're in JDM is a good position. He's very low though.
Yeah, JDM can buy time at least.
Stay alive.
One thing. He does get swung out on though by FNX, so very little to be done, but by now they know both players are going to be here. So I like this from Luminosity, not going straight for the plant. Again, taking the first fight. Cutler needlessly, I guess, peeking at that point, and Hayes now left in a 1v2, and he's not going to have a shot at that. Beautifully done by Luminosity here. And wow, these guys are getting loud already. I love they even grinned it in, like, yeah, I know I'm getting a little bit extreme in this. But, you know, maybe all that kind of spanking paid off.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I love that you, like, needlessly agree anyway.
Lost words.
Like, yeah.
I was not expecting that. But yeah,
surprise spankings.
Two of these rounds now, both of them, where you saw Luminosity not even going for the plant, and CLG just runs into them. Just be a little bit, you know, gotta wait a little bit there. You see CLG stacking A now. Not really too much. I mean, you see Luminosity towards the B bounce with the bomb, but last 2 rounds, CLG just needs to calm down a little bit. Wait for the bomb to be planted, and then you can make your move, right? So you don't just run into their crosshairs. They're just sitting there waiting for you to actually run in, and that's, you know, that's what they want.
Yep, Luminosity, they're exploiting this, and why not? Somehow Hayes has actually found Taco at this point, but actually JDM's recovered the rifle here. This could get a little dangerous. Cole doesn't realize Hayes is that close, so Hayes doing some serious damage at the moment. He's gone and got himself the rifle now. Flash to boot as well. But while all this happens, you can see the pressure coming from FNX towards B. That bomb is still on A. And he's sold this like an absolute kipper. They're both going over towards B. And now suddenly they'll be scratching their heads going, wait, no one's committing here. No one's showing. There's 2 players. Maybe we shouldn't do this. And now if they play towards the retake, this could be great. Hayes has found Fur. And now suddenly this is looking like a great round for CLG. And I think it's all off the back of what Hayes has managed to achieve. 3 kills here, leaving Fallen in a 1v4. Bomb not to hand. But will they peek? This is the question. Will they allow him to come back into this one? Hayes has fallen, but maybe a sacrificial lamb to know exactly where he is. But Fallen's doing this well. He's going to put the smoke down. Force one out again. Tarek goes down, but Cutler just about kept that close. But a really nice turnaround from CLG.
Yeah, great round by Hayes. I mean, they had 4 guys stacked on A bomb side. Luminosity just going up there, trying to aim, and Hayes getting that AK caused so much damage. Great fake by FNX on the B bomb side. It was just a little bit too late for Luminosity. They just walked up instead of just trying to take a gamble and just rushing up. And then you saw the Hayes rotation again towards CT spawn, just getting the initial kill there. And again, great work by CLG, just making sure that if someone ends up going down, you need to get the revenge frag. And that's, you saw that again and again now these few rounds. So that's a good job, because that's something Americans normally have issues with.
That's the nicest thing you've said about America in a long time. You're starting to sugarcoat in a really nice way, Frick. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, well, I figured, you know,
Since you moved here.
it's close to the holidays.
Is this your Christmas treat to them?
Yeah, I won't shit on them too much.
Because, to be fair, they are literally 2 foot away from you, so I did warn that they could throw stuff at you. But back to that point soon, Tarek has gone and kept them back all by himself like a big boy here. As JDM going to be trying to support through short, doesn't get the shot on the cross, which allows FNX the chance to get back into this round. In a 3v3, first time we're seeing ops on both sides, and Fallen is making a bigger impression right now, but JDM wants the spotlight back. That bomb's going towards Kitchen, and FNX taking a risk there, but it might have just paid off. But Hayes now 1v2. He's the man who brought this score back, but Fallen has none of that. And well, we've seen who's made the bigger start here with the Orbs. Fallen picking up at least 2 that round, and pretty integral ones as well.
Out of the 5 rounds, Luminosity has won, or even out of the 8 rounds, Luminosity has only planted twice. They've won 5 rounds. The other rounds, they have just ended up eliminating the opponents instead of just actually planting. They had plenty of time to plant on all these 3 rounds, where CLG just essentially just runs into their crosshairs.
And is this a nervous thing? Is this just, oh, wow, that's a great shot, but, you know, no armor and all, but still, is that nerves? Is that just poor practice? What is that?
Well, I mean, I understand that they want to try and contest the bomb sites, but you need to do it together. Because right now, you're trying to help your teammates that's already covering the bomb site, and then they end up going down, and then it's going to be a very kind of a sloppy, it's not even a retake, because you're just defending the site, right?
Yeah.
But it's one-on-one, whereas in reality, when you notice this tendency coming from Luminosity, that you just sit and wait. And you want to make sure that all of your remaining teammates are there as well, so you go in together, or you just wait for the outcome.
And the irony being that first round on the pistol, their retake was actually really, really good. They played with so much discipline.
Yeah.
Now, where's that gone? But still, once again, back to those points in a moment as that round did whiz past where CLG only had those CZs to hand. FNS has found the first this time. That's far gone, but Luminosity this time are once again looking towards B, and they've been very, very good at hitting this site. So far, it's Fallen again, being right at the forefront here. I'm wondering if FNS can do anything. Normally, it's been Tarek playing this spot for quite some time, but he's pushed a little bit further up towards short, and Darko's going to make some sound. They know exactly where FNS is now. They're going to push him out of position, but they don't check it. They molly it and then don't look. Great little flash actually held themselves back there for a second, but there we go. Finally, those shots start landing, and Luminosity just seem to be winning out in these aim battles half the time.
Yeah, and despite even making a mistake, they're not actually clearing the Molotov corner that you probably should. So FNX, gets the 2 frags, but Luminosity once more. This is the first round I've seen on a weapon round towards speed that they actually end up planning. And for CLG here, it's way too late. They don't have a kit, forced to save, and Luminosity up 7 rounds to CLG's 3.
Luminosity looking pretty good in this, I've got to say. But then again, how many rounds has it been where CLG's been not as disciplined as they should have been? And all these kind of other effects come into account. Like, I'm kind of hoping CLG just switch on soon. They're starting a little later than everyone else. They're coming into this a little later, and maybe they need a couple of rounds to get into this. Maybe that's what they need. I don't know. I'm trying to find a bit of silver lining in it, but
I agree with you. I mean, right now you haven't seen JDM with an op. Well, he had that one round on cap, but that's
right.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the only round out of 10 that he actually could afford an op. And for your main opper, that's not a good sign. Imagine, putting Guardian in the same situation where out of, it's 1 round out of 10 that you get an op on Guardian. That's not a good statistic.
No, certainly not. And we've already seen what Fallen can do with his on the T side, so it's making a little bit harder work here. And once again, Luminosity so aware here. Fur's already looking down, checking for FNS. I don't know if he heard a sound, if that was a flash, but he's going to be flashing down, but actually just going to switch over the worst of times. Kind of caught mid-air at that point, but already CLG trying to push a little closer. Tarek and FNS trying to just gather the information. They only have pistols, so not a great deal to lose. But they know now where Cold is. Pretty sure they can understand there's more here at this point, and all the rifles are stacked up on A.
You can actually tell that Luminosity has looked at CLG's match yesterday versus TSM, where CLG did a great job in just taking mid control. Luminosity, this is the second round that they've actually taken mid control.
It's working out so well for them off the back of this. Like, I feel for CLG because they're just at the mercy of Luminosity at the moment there. You can see Cold's just walking. He's going to get the chance to line up a lovely little shot there, and JDM's just going to be mowed down. Luminosity have everything in this map, and Cutler's going to have to pull together the pieces here. There are a couple of players just scattered through this map, and Tarek trying to catch out Cold Zeri. He's actually a little low, so one shot could have done some damage, but still. At this point, Cutler is in a 1v4. Bomb plant, he's got a kit, I guess, so, maybe some hero plays could have done something, but FNX, let's be honest here, Luminosity are just hitting some really cracking shots as well.
Yeah, but there we go.
This needed to happen.
Yeah,
to be fair.
CLG actually yesterday they didn't take a single tactical timeout, and I asked Pete about it as well. He's like, well, there's no point in taking a timeout when you're just about to save. So then we won. So the one scenario yesterday where I actually thought that they would take the timeout is it was very late into the game and they ended up saving, and then I called for timeout and they never did, but they ended up winning the round, and then they felt that the timeout wasn't really needed. So I really like this approach from CLG, actually using the timeout for once. And one thing I want to note here for CLG is that, well, what did we do yesterday? Well, we took a lot of mid control and it worked out versus TSM.
Yeah.
Well, Luminosity, they're very smart now where they're not actually bothering too much in mid because they figured out that CLG puts a lot of members there and they don't put the members on the B or A bomb side. So they just take that and then you just work the either after plants or, like I've been talking about for the, you know, throughout the half, is that they don't even plant the bomb. They just wait for CLG to come. It's essentially just a trap, right? So we'll see if Pete over here has an, you know, an answer to Luminosity's strong T side.
It does seem as though him and FNS are having a bit of a conversation almost about it, just maybe going through ideas. I'd love to be able to hear what they're saying at these points. It's always kind of curious, but no, it's definitely Peter having a really quite a lengthy discussion through this, maybe just discussing their options going forward, kind of not necessarily dwelling on the previous rounds, but what's worked for Luminosity and how they can maybe just cancel that a little bit. Because let's be honest, as you noted, JDM has only had that up once, and he's not had the biggest of games yet, has he?
No, and I mean, it's a reason for that as well, right? He's the main opera and he's only had the op once, and no wonder he's not making an impact, right? So right now you see CLG members, they're ranging from 5.2k to 3.7k on JDM. I would love to see an op drop for him now, so you get him in the game because you need him right now.
Well, that's the thing. If he doesn't get confidence as well, it can be such an easy spiral. Like, let's be honest, you'll feel bad about your performance, but then you can go back and think logically, oh, well, you know, I only got the orb once, but you know, at the end of the day, you look at your scoreline and it's pretty disastrous. You still feel pretty awful about it. So, have to wait and see if CLG do opt to go for that. I'm just seeing what the buy-up is now, and I don't think they are.
Well, unless Haze drops one. The thing is here as well, no, he actually doesn't. So JDM will not have an op once more. Cold actually picked up the op, Fallen dropped in the op, and Cold has a very good spawn towards middle. So if JDM by any chance would have actually got an op drop and went up to peek in the window, he would have probably ended up dying because JDM is a very bad spawn right now.
And to be fair, I think it opts to say exactly what you highlighted, Luminosity taking that mid control quite well and then just focusing on the sites after they've done that, because Cold's been sitting very towards the top here, but JDM, you've got to be cautious. Smart play, just kind of shoulder peeking out there, not committing to it. Now, Cold is out, and does he still have the orb as well? He does, okay, so he didn't switch that back over towards Fallen, and they're just going for what looks like a playthrough underpass, kind of negating whatever presence CLG could have had, and it's going to be FNS sitting up in my window. A little bit of a nade did catch for FNX and Fallen, but still, this has been done time and time again. This play through connector has worked out before, but are CLG going to fall for this? There's still options here. They're playing deep in towards the site. It's a bit of a split through Palace as well, so kind of every angle being cut off at this point, and CLG being super calm about this right now.
Yeah, I mean, you see the rotation coming from JDM as well. If Luminosity hits a bomb site, they're going to end up finding versus 4 people. So, good read by CLG. Fair is actually rotating back. He will probably be faking towards B to try and get a rotate in, while the LG members are just trying to get a frag. Nope.
Here we go.
Ends up rolling back.
Looks like Luminosity going to start trying to build up here, but JDM holding down from CT, doing real nice at this moment. FNS going to be trying to pinch in through jungle, but at the moment, Luminosity just slowing things down. They know the CLG have got a real good presence at this point. Cold's gone and found Taric, but now it's into this 3v3. Can Haze do what is required here? JDM's just trying to keep the pressure towards him, trying to bait him out almost, but he actually swings out on this. Does get... Wow, he takes down Cold as well. That was a brave play, but hell, Haze does now have the chance to move into it too. And it's just left Taco in this 1v2, and it's a hard one to break out of, but he knows exactly where this last remaining player is. But look at the time, 7 seconds left. He has to take the fight, and Haze just denies him. Really nicely done from CLG in the end. Starting to build up to what Luminosity were bringing, but this swing out from JDM, you know what? It's a brave choice to go for that sort of shot. You have no idea who was going to be peeking you, I guess, but still, it worked out.
This situation, you can see that CLG is getting a little bit flustered because JDM and Haze actually have very good positioning. You had JDM in seat spawn and Haze with a good positioning under the balcony area. Instead, JDM just runs out and dies, leaving Haze in a one-on-one situation. Taco actually had a nade there as well. I'm surprised he didn't use it, but you know, a win is a win, and it was cutting it very close.
It really was 8-4 now. Tarek's going to Tarek's going to know what's coming his way. JDM's finally got himself an AWP as well. So here we go. Flash perfectly will deny Tarek the peak on this one. He's falling all the way back. Great little counter flash as well. That slowed them down. Split up the play, allowing JDM the chance to take down Taco. Now the bomb yet to cross towards the side. CLG, let's see if they play for the retake. Do they have that discipline this time, or are they just trying to challenge this out? Tarek, in between a rock and a hard place, he's just trying to get into this side. He has no idea what's going on, and while this happens, Hazed is in the background. CLG starting to do the damage. Great stuff coming together for them, and eventually pull it through, but that was kind of manic.
Yeah, and again, well, actually, it was great from CLG because they actually waited. Look at the positioning right now on the minimap where you see the CLG members. They're just waiting for Hate, and then it's just essentially a sandwich, right? Tarek doing a great job staying alive with the scout.
I don't know how he did, to be fair.
Yeah, and the thing is, just staying alive, if he would have gone down, Luminosity would have known that there's no one else around that area, and then they would have probably gotten a bit better positioning. But him staying alive, and then he got the backup from JDM in the kitchen area.
Oh, what is this? This is a bit of a ace up the sleeve, and it works out.
Yeah, great job, and this is what we saw versus TSM or ex-TSM yesterday, where they pushed up mid a little bit randomly, and that's why they got out so many rounds.
Now this could open up a chance. So Taco's in a great position here, ahead of the curve, but Hayes just swings out and takes him down, and is left in this 2v4. Now, Fer and FNX not really in the best spots, and this lovely little dash of aggression from CLG has just kind of spun this round on its head. And considering how dominant Coldzera's been in mid, this is a really nice addition. So, now what can Luminosity do here? FNX may actually hinder him more than helping. That bomb still at the top of mid. They've got so much ground to gain, and you know, with Cutler in spots like this, it feels almost impossible at this point, but then again, maybe they can build something. No, JDM already shuts down that chance and is left for in this 1v4. 43 seconds, no utility to play with.
Yeah, and for the last round here for Luminosity, they're not going to have that much money either to begin with. One thing that you actually haven't seen from Luminosity, though, when you have a low buy like this, is that you have two options, right? Just end up doing smoke around towards B or smoke around towards A. It's great here for Fer. I mean, technically, Luminosity as CLG doesn't have that much money either. They do end up going down. So Hayes, yeah, he picked up the op. Okay, great. So JDM can actually drop your weapons here. So you will see a full buy coming in from CLG, and when I said full buy, you just wander around. But when you have Molotovs, you have to try to hold off the force buy or the full buy from Luminosity here. And yeah, like I said, gonna be a smoker. Are we actually gonna see? Okay. Oh please.
This worries me.
Yeah, I don't like.
You say, oh, please, but this still kind of worries me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like rounds like these. I hope that it's just going to be a straight-off fake from Luminosity, and you just rotate all the way back to B, so you don't just end up pushing A and leaving Fer with the bomb towards B.
You say you hope it's a fake. I don't know. We're going to wait and see. The lovely little flashes coming through from Hayes there, just popping over, blinding anyone at Tetris, but JDM's going to do the same, and just keep your eyes on that bomb as well. Like, this is going to start getting worrying. Okay, no, CLG has dealt with this well. And they should keep in mind that, hey, we've not seen the bomb, we've not seen that final player. Okay, Tarek found him, and now Cold is left in a 1v4. Now, it seemed a little basic coming through. I kind of hoped it had paid off, but they all got picked up, they all got spotted out. And, well, it was pretty simple stuff.
Well, that's not really a round you do when you have a full buy. It's like a round you can do when you have a very limited buy and you just, like, have a smoke and a flash, and you storm 4 guys towards A and try and get a pick, and then just try and go for the plant, right? Yeah. It's not a round you do if you want to win the round. Because what happens is even if they, call the fake, or even if they don't call a fake and they think it's A, eventually by the time you get the bomb down, you're going to be alone versus X amount of players. Yeah. So you're not going to win that round anyway.
So, first half down, pretty close scoreline. I think after that pause, of course, CLG started to really operate substantially better than before. I don't know how many rounds it was back-to-back here, but it was quite a few.
It was, and I mean, getting JDM the op made a big difference, because then you get the money situation up a little bit, and you could actually afford to, make a gamble or two. And you saw pushing up mid from CLG, you saw JDM, you saw them staying alive and working together as well when Luminosity hit the bomb site. So yeah, a little bit shaky in the beginning, managed to get back 8-7 scoreline to Luminosity, but now it's the worrisome, right? Whereas the CLG did not have a good T-half yesterday.
This is what's going to have to change, isn't it? Because we saw the CLG can perform on the CT. They've just done it again. It may have been very late but they came back with a good string of rounds. But now it's okay, what can they do on their T side? Because this was lacking before. It looks like they've got a plan in mind. We've got the Molly there with Hayes. You've got a little bit of utility with FNS too, but this double stack here on these B apartments could really hinder all of this. The players are pouring up short, but coldzera's already found JDM. Oh my god, that's a disaster. That's the bomb with him as well. So now all the planning in the world can't account for players picking up kills like that. And now CLG left in this real awkward predicament. Fallen's on 3 HP, sure, but coldzera's not had enough. He wants more, and he's got it. That's 3. And looking for his 4th. He's going to get the tag as well. He actually got the kill in the end. 4 kills for 1 man. Bomb still loose. 30 seconds left. Cutler, you got to go like beast mode right now because this is almost impossible.
Yeah, when coldzera got the 2nd kill there, it really messed up CLG there, because I think if Cold would have gone down, yeah, sure, there was one more LG member up here. You see Taco up here. If Cold would have gone down right here, Taco, I mean, even if he ends up killing him, it's better because you only have 1 guy that's just defending the bomb. Now you have 2, and when when coldzera gets 4 kills as well, leaving the bomb out there, it's close to impossible.
Yeah.
Especially because you can't rotate back anywhere either,
No.
because Luminosity was just sandwiching you. You had catwalk, you had kitchen control, the bomb was just stuck.
And I actually really like that from Luminosity, putting some eggs in the basket, I guess, and pushing up their FNX. Oh, don't you do this to me. He's in the right place. This could be absolutely disastrous if they don't check this. I really hope they check. Hayes has a look, but that's not good. FNX is raining in. That's 3 already. This is just devastating stuff. And sure, CLG didn't have much to work with, but you just don't want to get shotgunned to the dome in like any sort of instance. And now Fur's going to close down, but not great.
What's with these
Shotgun?
auto shot? I'm okay with shotguns, but like auto shotgun buys. I mean, obviously it's working out, but I don't think I've seen it getting bought as much as this tournament before.
I'm trying to think of if I'd seen it like.
I've seen it before, but not as much as this. Like, this is almost like every game.
And like, don't get me wrong, like JW will buy like the sword off, and you'll see like the Mag 7 in that, but not the auto. I don't know. Maybe there is a method to the madness, and I'm sure people out there are telling me exactly as to why. But I'd be curious to find out actually. Like, has there been something that's kind of made it be a little more applicable or just useful? Who knows? Still into this one, it's a very clean one from CLG. They've got a Tech 9, a P250, 0 utility here, but Taco might just be building up that bank right now as Cold already finds FNS, and this is not looking too pretty. I doubt there's a bomb plant in sight, and they can't even get a foot to sight at the moment. Tarek does find coldzera, but still, it's a minimal bit of silver lining. As let's be honest here, Luminosity have been keeping these rounds very clean, and straight away, that double AWP just instantly brought up.
Yeah, you saw there Taco that round, actually. He spotted people, and then double flash, fell back, making sure that he's going to wait for his team, and that's when you make your move. Great job. Even though he only had an SMG, he's going to actually save it this round as well. So yeah, very important round for CLG here.
And I remember Moses actually being quite the advocate for the double AWP on Luminosity, but it was a very dangerous investment, of course, and it can backfire if the economy starts going against you. But Luminosity in this position, they're looking pretty well set here. And look at the aggression from Fallen. It's an off angle, sure, but he's certainly put his neck out on the line. He's been baited out. He backs away. He knows that maybe something's up here. Sees exactly where that smoke just came from, and he knows there's a split in plan. He's seen at least 2 people by this point, but still, slow start from both to a degree here. But CLG have some mid control.
Oh yeah. And since Cold has the AWP towards the B bomb site, he's not seeing anyone. Leaves Taco in a. I mean, again, it's a very standard position, but you have a very fast A rotate control as well. And if they end up hitting B, it's a very good position to be at. Neo used to be very keen on standing here back in the day.
And one thing as well, they also pushed up in towards A apps. They're starting to get control throughout this map. CLG are just kind of being herded into this. They're going to try and make their play through towards B, it seems. Maybe that 3-2 split that just didn't work out in the pistol. Now they're back on the buy. Let's see what they can do. Let's found Taco at least. So that's opened up maybe a little bit of an avenue just to hold a rotate, catch someone off on the route through. But coldzera, if he lands some of these shots, it's going to get real difficult, real fast. And he's just not hitting them at the moment. Carla's had a perfect opportunity. Fallen here to pick up the pieces. And my God, is he doing it in style. That's 2 already. Cutler and Tarek down and out. 3v3 though, but look on the rotate again. They've got players on the flank so early here. Hayes right around the back does catch out Fallen, but there's another one. Third rotating as well, but time. There's 7 seconds left. This could be all over in a blink of an eye, and that's the bomb down. 3 seconds now. FNX just needs to run.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a shame. I mean, CLG also, Fair was flanking for Luminosity in B there, but you also had a member from CLG flanking, which is Haste. So CLG was just essentially just waiting for Haste to get there on time. And I actually heard they were screaming, okay, one flanking on the CLG side. So they actually knew where Fer was as well. Ended up getting actually killing the bomb planter. Just lost in the round. Took a little bit too long there to actually get control of the bomb side.
It's pretty close, but still so far. And that's a good start, though. JDM's just going to pluck Tucko away from B. So going to force maybe coldzera to be a little more dedicated just towards his site. Alleviate some of that presence from short, possibly. Let's see how they kind of fan themselves out here on the Luminosity gaming side. They've still got options available for players, of course, but it does make it harder to deal with CLG if they do just focus themselves in. At the moment, they've just kind of opted to keep players, I guess, away from short, really, and Fallen just occasionally glimpsing back towards window in case there's a boost. But maybe a slow play towards A going to come from the back of this.
Yeah, I mean, does look like a JDM rotating back now all the way. Just make sure to... Yeah, she's going to spot Cold. Oh, yep. He did see him. And he ended up falling. But you see Cold right away, rotating back. We will see... Yeah, we're going to see a smoke play coming in from CLG here on the A-bomb side. With LG actually having really good positioning, they can actually help each other very well here. But the rotation from LG is going to be very slow. And
they've only got 2 smokes, one on Hazed, one on Tarek. One's been put down by Tarek. The Molly's going to follow. I'm curious where they're going to basically negate having one. It seems to be kind of by jungle at the moment. And FNX is just going to be the turret on the site so far. He's going to found one. That's his second. Tarek falls. And now he's looking for a third. Not going to find, though. Cutler says no. But Fallen now looking for a glimmer through that smoke. And he might just see Cutler at this point. Oh, Cutler saw him. It's down to this 2v2. Both orbs still in play. And Fallen takes away FNS. 9 seconds again. This clock is running so low. Cutler, he's run out of bullets. He's run out of options. And Fallen denies them again. Luminosity, once they've got this double AWP in play, it's been pretty prolific.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like Cold is the one hitting the shots. Yeah, he's holding an angle towards B, got the entry, but it's Fallen making it work once they actually hit the bomb sites. This round and the previous round as well, got the two entry or 2 kills that he needed, got the 2-1s here as well. So yeah, great hold. You know, Luminosity, they are losing the initial members on the bomb sites, but the remaining Luminosity members are doing a very good job in making sure that the CLG is not getting any ground.
Oh, Hadouken, CLG on the comeback. Maybe not right now. Sorry, buddy. 7-13 at the moment. We can hope and pray. But 3 smokes left with CLG. It looks like maybe just the standard smokes towards A being put down, but let's see if they actually go off this. There is a player pushed up by Sandwich too. Fallen catching out Tarek on the initial push. Great flash to follow. Allows FNX forward, and he's just having a great time mowing them down. Cutler has been the only one replying on this T side, but it's still in these predicaments. It's still so far behind, and look who's on the rotate. Round the back, and Cold's the one to close. This is being pretty brutal so far, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's an op show right now from LG. Great flash to flash in FNX as well. Getting the 2 frags here, you see both Cutler and the other CLG members completely flashed, could not help the guy that was actually already up there. So yeah, right now CLG needs to find a reply to Luminosity's 2 ops, because they're not getting any payout right now. Yeah, well, that round they didn't even get into the bomb site. They just get stuck by the round.
It's kind of going worse, sadly, which is the...
This is the problem we saw yesterday as well from CLG, where they...
T-side, right?
Yeah.
And that's certainly not going any better. But yeah, the T-side's been severely lacking in comparison to what they've been able to achieve on the CT, which is surprising, but maybe we can get some sort of insight towards that after this game, or after this map maybe. As Fallen going to be keeping tabs on this. Again, switching up position though, not just in CT, he's been pretty much throughout this map holding on to this one. And the flashes once again slowing down CLG, looking towards possibly getting a plant. They've got the smokes in place this time. And sadly, 4 players about to close in, and Taco just straight through that smoke almost. Excuse me, actually that's Fer. It wasn't even Taco hitting that shot, but it's still Taco doing the damage, and it's just Cutler again. He's been kind of the last man in these instances. He has been trading out frags, but by now Luminosity are just running in at him, gets himself the double, but no chance to pick up the quad in the end. And Luminosity getting themselves on toward match point here, or map point should I say, excuse me. But yeah, let's kind of talk about this T side a little bit, because it's really kind of been lackluster in comparison to those CT sides.
Yeah, and the issue they're having right now, which is not an issue really they had versus XTSM, where they can't find a reply to Luminosity's 2 ops, where they just try to hit the bomb sites and fall and keeps on getting those entries, and then you just tend to have, you know, the rifles close quarters just ends up getting the pickings from nice flash work from Luminosity.
Oh, and this could just been a lot worse than it was. Hayes at least that, the nice little pre-nade then coming out from CLG, making sure that, Luminosity would get a little bit punished if they got a little bit too aggressive. But CLG trying to keep that pace up, trying to keep in their faces here. Through connector we go, and it's JDM making the challenge. He's going to pick up FNX. That's going to make the A side look a little weaker here. Now, sure, we've still got Fallen, but he's a little low. Hayes has done the work again. It's down to Cold. Cold gets picked up. Finally, CLG find a little bit of magic through mid, but it's still Taco. He's a little further away, though, so I doubt he's going to be able to make much out of this. But what was the difference here for CLG? Because suddenly, they just got complete control. They got into A, they got the picks.
Yeah, well, Luminosity actually decided to do something unorthodox, which is just rush up mid. You haven't really seen that from them this half so far. And Haste, that's the thing. CLG just won this round because of hero play is coming in from that one player, which is Haste with a nice triple kill. If he didn't do that, they would have probably ended up losing the round. And you can't rely on having hero plays to win rounds, right? It's great, it's perfect when actually players do it and stuff, but it just...
It's not regular, right?
No,
you
it's
can't
not regular.
depend
So
on it.
yeah, exactly. So for example, this coming round, for example, you see here, great job by Hayes, nice headshot, getting the triple kill at the end here through the smoke. But this is not something you want to count on. You don't want to count on Hayes just getting a triple kill every single time. You still need to find a reply onto Luminosity's defense. Now, yeah, you're getting some breathing room. Luminosity with the eco.
Yep.
It's just one eco. They're going to be able to buy the next round.
But JDM's under pressure here. We'll come back to that and have a little look at the economy how it stands. But first one found himself an AWP. That's not exactly how you want to be doing this, but the bomb's still in mid. CLG haven't committed anywhere, so they're not going to be called out just yet, but we've got a scout towards Fallen, AWP towards Fur. Taco with just the P250. CLG looking pretty hesitant, quite cautious into this, and you can't really blame him. But Taco, what? How has he just found Hazed? This is just going from bad to worse, and I'm getting a little nervous here. This could be an actual spanking if they lose this round, let's be honest. Fallen's got his eyes on this. He's peeked it, he's got the tag too. That's FNS tagged up. He just re-peeked it towards Fallen. And now Cutler's found his Taco. Fallen again, he doesn't need the AWP. He's got the scout, it's good enough. And now Cutler has to save the day. If you want a hero play, now it has to be, because this is not how you want to lose map 1, but he knows he's in a crossfire. He knows he's surrounded. And that bomb is in the worst position possible. Fur pins him in the air, and a great first map for Luminosity Gaming. And not exactly the way you want to close out on that first map for CLG.
Yeah, Finesse actually got stuck there when he jumped over in the B apartments about to go into site. He got stuck on an obstacle in there. And I mean, the re-pick, maybe you could have probably passed on that. But getting the initial hit there from Fallen was, is what's killed him. But yeah, it's a very hard way to lose the game when you end up winning the first one. You put Luminosity on Nico. It's supposed to be the breathing room, right? Go together, get a few more rounds on the board, get some economy, so you get whatever nades you may need to try and stop Luminosity's defense. Instead, you see the aggressiveness coming in from Fur, getting the AWP in the palace area from JDM. Now, he didn't really do that much with the AWP since Fallen got the 2 kills, just hold off the B bomb site completely. But yeah, overall, I think CLG still have the same issue as they had yesterday. A little bit shaky in the beginning on their seed side, came back, but then obviously again their T side struggled. Luminosity definitely the better team here on Mirage.
They definitely are, and that showed from quite some way. And even just on that CT side, you've got to say it's a dangerous effect when those double AWPs come into play as well. That's another level that CLG just didn't have an answer to just yet. But of course, there's another couple of maps to come up here. But I think this has kind of started off, I guess, the way we expected. But then again, Overpass coming up next. I'm not too sure how that's going to go, but enough of us. Let's hear what the panel has to say.
All right, so map 1 going in quite convincing fashion to Luminosity. 16 rounds coming quite quickly. August, as you see you pausing there, what's up?
Well, we were having this discussion, and I'm not afraid to say it on the stream. It kind of sucks for Peta because, he comes from NIP where he just wasn't able to achieve anything because the team was so locked in their ways. And he comes over to CLG, which are just appear to be like this total train wreck. It's really, that's a bit of a rough break for him because he has ideas, but I think that he's been given a team that actually has potential, or it's like too late in the day for him to do anything because you watch the body language of CLG.
It's bad.
They, like 5 rounds in, they already look like they've lost the map.
It did. I mean, the camera was happened to be next to Hayes, and I don't know, but maybe that's just because when you actually see him specifically, it feels like he was eyes closed, kind of head in hands, just kind of staring at the screen during a timeout. And it's just
yeah, I don't really mind. I didn't think their body language during the game was so bad.
No?
Typically because FNS just directs them anyway, and they just kind of sit there and listen.
Right.
But after the game was over, when Hayes took his headset off. They all left it on. They sat there. They didn't say anything. A minute passed. They all take off their headset. 3 of them leave. 3 of them remain, if you include Peter.
Yeah.
And like no one says a word. It's a little bit weird. It's almost like they're dooming themselves going into the next map. I don't really like it. As a sign for the future for them right now.
No. Okay, so I mean, I look at a lot of negative vibes coming from Counter Logic Gaming.
Yeah.
Let's take a positive. Should we take some positives? 'Cause
They're really
got
harsh on
some.
my vibes over here.
Yeah,
We were all in a good mood.
they're killing our jam.
You know who put us in a good mood we can talk about is FNX.
Creamy.
Stop.
Oh.
That is not the way to get this
Stop
out.
it.
Make
Stop.
a smile come on my face.
Put something else on his face. But we need to talk about, you said FNX, I was going to say Fallen. There were some standout individuals in that Luminosity game, Jason.
Yeah, it's just like Sean, you touched on it at first, and then we just kept seeing it happen round after round. It's just like the sheer amount of impact for X. This is, I mean, this guy is just a monster in these situations. In all situations, like even when they stall out on attacks, like he finds the kills for him, and so does Fallen with the AWP. But like this guy is just a monster right now, FNX.
FNX gets every impact kill he needs to get. He gets every huge kill. Sam and I were pointing it out time and time again. They just kept doing it. The next round, you just get 2 crucial entries, or the round would come down to like a 4 versus 3 in CLG's favor, and he would get like 3 nuts headshots in the B-bomb site.
Yeah, unfortunately, in those replays there, we didn't really get to see it. That was more once they're just like, you know, they've got the hammer, the last row of nails on the coffin, and they're just kind of like banging away, like, oh man, there's a beer waiting for you back. But the real impact for X, we're going on to the B site. The fact that when at the beginning of the half, and Luminosity did everything right. They set the tempo, they set the pace. They're going on to that B site, and they kept going there because FNX just kept getting all the frags. Taco might just like YOLO in or lurk around on pit, but like then YOLO in and die. And then FNX is just like, bam, bam. Okay, the defense is gone, guys. And he just did that round after round after round. Like that, this guy's insane.
So did Fallen though. I mean, the points we were making, as soon as you put an AWP in his hands, was it B on A?
Exactly, that's more CT side.
That was more CT sided.
Like,
Yeah.
To me, what was more important? Okay, this is why it's like Fallen, yes, but like FNX more, yes. Okay. If that makes any sense, because like T side, right? T side, T side going into it. FNX, you know, like those to me are like huge frags because basically it allows for his team to get onto the site. These kills that he keeps getting, it's like one part of the crossfire is gone, and then you can just swarm the last guy, or he would just do it himself. Spots the first guy, kills him. Oh, there's the other guy, kills him. You know, like these are really big frags. Fallen stands out because yeah, you give him the op. And then it seems like every map, he just has this round where it's like, that's a key round where if CLG might have won it, they could have maybe turned it around. But every time Fallen, he's like in the linchpin round of the half, he just shows up. He's like, I'm going to kill 3 of you and just completely ruin your dreams. Like,
This is it. This is the round.
yeah, this is the round right here. Oh. And he nearly gets a 3rd, but that wasn't important. The damage was already done.
Well, and look how much time he bought by not overcommitting some kind of a fight. He could have taken that battle at Van, but he chose not to.
And another round I wanted to highlight, of course, was the 3rd round. Sean, you were being a rubbish analyst and didn't actually catch it, so this is an opportunity for you to see it.
Oh, no.
But you guys,
Okay,
you guys have seen it, and I'll let you, Jason, you walk us through why, because this was like really sexy CS.
Yeah, we're going to see this clip up, and we're going to see Machine completely annihilate Sean for no reason.
I didn't think it was that bad. I was just it was banter.
Yeah, you can't hide behind the banner on that one, man. We're going to have a talk, Alex, after this.
Go, analyze, do your job, go.
This wasn't the round that we discussed, but I mean, this is some good stuff from Hayes. I mean, coming from these smokes. I mean, CLG had some really good stuff early on in the half, where like we talked about their retake setup, especially on Pisteron, worked out well. You know, their ability to retake at this A bomb site was really, really efficient. This was just kind of a bummer. No kit here for Cutler.
Yeah, that's basically.
I mean, the round we were highlighting was, of course, the one prior where we just saw Luminosity kind of come into it with rifles, Galils, and everything. And
They just walked. They had a connector smoke, and they just pop flashed themselves through it. And that one flash they killed Cutler with it. And then there was one in Palace and one in at the A ramp, and
Was
they
it
just
Tetris? Yeah.
literally just like walk up and just get a kill. Everyone gets a kill, and they crunched that A bomb site. It was so coordinated. The timing on it was really, really cool to watch.
yeah.
Right, Sean?
I don't know. I can't even look Alex in the eyes right now. I don't know if it's because of that stain
man.
on his shirt. Or
No one has noticed.
It's in the shape of an iron.
Yeah, it's like
we all
slouching like this, just in the hopes that people don't notice I've got toothpaste all over Anyway, guys, it's predictions. Let's stop bullying me, please. Thank you very much.
No,
Predictions.
we'll let Pansy do that. She seems to really enjoy when you get the shank.
She
so.
loves
I don't get it, man. That's
She revels in my misery.
She
is
does,
essentially what Lauren had.
like, hi guys, I'm your friend.
And she's like losing her breath, like laughing so much about how,
okay,
how
Pansy.
things are going horribly
So,
wrong for me. But go. Predictions, guys.
LG.
We said already,
Luminosity.
CLG are looking like a kind of beaten team already, unfortunately. So is it safe to assume we're looking very
Yeah,
Luminosity
I'm
here?
gonna believe in their general feeling of just being done after that last map. Luminosity's gonna win this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any doubt to begin with, but it's just
I don't know.
No, to me there wasn't any doubt.
Right.
Even if I made it sound like, oh, it's coin flippy, guys, and I leaded the wrong side of the coin, obviously. Yeah, CLG, like, just watching the first few rounds on that map and how they seem to struggle and the frustration that's there, I'm finding it really difficult to imagine them coming back in a second round after a beating like that.
Okay, and Sean, I mean the same
Yeah,
story.
the thing is all the Luminosity players are hitting their shots. Their timings are on point. They're firing all cylinders. CLG they already looked like they lost after that match, so I can't side with them. I'm gonna go with Luminosity.
Yeah, I'm not changing or anything, but the one hope that CLG has is they have to get off to like a really hot start. If they start out just getting beat up over the first 4, 5, 6 rounds, it's just they're done.
That's true, and that's worth mentioning because Luminosity still have some of that like honeymoon-ish, like momentum-based kind of game where it's like if they start off strong, they start really strong,
Right.
and they just do so much damage that you can't recover. Because we did see a CLG start to get some rounds on the board towards the end of the first half, but they're just so good at hitting that momentum and then maximizing the results of it, where it's just like we're gonna get so many rounds.
Absolutely.
So yeah, if they can stop Luminosity from doing that, CLG might stand a chance.
And I mean, at the start of every round, like those first couple, like 3 or 4 rounds for Luminosity, where they were so loud. Every single round, every single kill they get, they're like, right, building up, starting, that kind of lawnmower as they slice down the North American blades of grass. But anyway, let's go ahead and go to your casters for this
That's a hot
one.
taco.
It's going to be Lauren who's standing by with her caster partner in crime for Flaren. Take it away, you guys.